Cruise in.
Yeah, my husband,
There we go. Great.
All right.
Do you have an extra one of those?
Call to order the Traffic and Public
You
Safety
don't want
Committee.
one?
No, I have it at home.
Call to
Okay,
order.
thank you.
Can you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Get my husband to take the 60.
My neighbors. It's for my neighbor that has the.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My husband, I did
All
that
right.
bill for the bags for the 64.
Summer's almost here. Welcome, everybody. All right. Community comments. Okay. Roll call. Everybody's here. All right. All six are here for roll call. And we have a new procedure here, Mike, where one of us rotating basis, it looks like, will be taking if we have if we vote on something. Other than that'll be the minutes, the video. If you need to look at something in the past.
Okay.
All right, see. This might be the last month, but can I get a motion to approve the May minutes?
I move that we approve the main minutes.
Go first, do I have a second? Okay, I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you. Motion passes. Okay, presentation reports. Chief Mendoza is not going to be here this evening. He said he'll be here next month. For July, I just wanted to briefly discuss the large article that was in the newspaper on May 25th. I'm sure everybody read about it, about the 270 pounds of methamphetamine that was apprehended from a gentleman that lives here in Estacada. Later on, after he had the rental vehicle and he's coming north on the 5, the same day they executed a federal search warrant on Barrera's residence where they seized 2 firearms hidden under the floor of a closet. So just so everybody knows, you know, what's going on. Got 270 pounds. He goes south with a rental vehicle coming back north. He's going to have to come home one of these times. All right. So, yeah. And they just had the picture. So I'm pretty sure everybody saw
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a load.
That sure is. All right. And let's see. Moving on. This is what Council Blevins and I, it was last month, I believe, we went to Springwater Grange for the PG&E event, the wildfire preparedness. And looks like emergency evacuation routes. Elena threw this in. You can see it in great detail. All the way to Sandy, all the way to Hoodland, and then just our little one here in town. Sign up to receive emergency alerts, what to do, Red Cross. Let's see, wildfire preparedness. We've already been through the level 1, level 2, level 3. I don't think anybody here needs to, but people watching that haven't been here. Most definitely. Let's see. Oregon Livestock Council.
Yeah,
Did you want to talk about that?
sure.
I know we have it in here, but I know that you have the
I've got
flyer.
Little flyer, yeah.
Okay.
So the Oregon Livestock Council is putting on an event on this Saturday, the 21st, over at, is it the Eagle Creek Grange, I believe?
Eagle Creek, right?
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have a booth there representing traffic, public and safety in the city.
Excellent.
Got a lot of goodies, but it's a lot of the items are centered around wildfire and how to, you know, have your own mitigation plan on your property. As far as, I even have tape measures they sent me. So like
Awesome.
you can measure your 5 feet, like boundary, and then examples of drought resistant like bushes, you can have.
Flowers.
Yeah, landscape items.
Landscape.
And so it's just gonna be, hopefully people from the community can attend. I know that I've sent Elena the graphic to share on Facebook and,
Awesome.
and then I was gonna share to our groups that were in like Estacada Locals and whatnot. So,
Excellent.
yeah, and they're having a spaghetti feed. I think so it's 11
good
AM to 3
fundraiser.
PM. Yeah, yeah.
Good.
So, and then I figured while I'm there, I will try and get more participation for vendors for our National Night Out.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
that's
We'll
it.
talk about that and trying to get a flyer out, and
Yeah,
I think July 1st, or we can maybe after the 4th, we can send something to Elena.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming you have toys and stuff for the kids.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've got, well, for this, we've got coloring books.
Okay.
I was wondering if we wanted to, I don't know, we don't have a budget for color crayons, but, like as a packet, but
you can
Yeah.
probably email
maybe something.
Elena. We
Yeah,
might
she
have
just
some
gave me, I had
left over.
sunglasses,
That's good.
lots of goodies, stickers,
Stickers.
so
Yeah.
swag.
Dollar General up for donation,
Oh, will they donate?
donated before.
Have they? Okay, maybe I'll
That's
ask.
good.
Yeah, okay. That's a good
Good.
idea.
No, the managers are.
Right.
Yeah.
The other managers are working for Safeway.
Oh, there you. Yeah,
All right. So that's good. And thank you, Karina, for doing that. Anyone that wants to join Karina, I'm sure she could use the help.
oh, yeah. Just
Answer
having
some
another,
questions, what the committee's doing, and
it's this Saturday. 11 AM to 3 PM. Yeah, so just, answer questions since I am a newbie.
bring your notes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Sure.
And let's see. I think the only other things in there were, the stuff for kids also.
I didn't get my thing colored yet.
That's you have it. I'm having a contest, so.
I know.
The best one. Yeah, I think it's basically those items
that's
that were in our packet. A lot of that, like I've got postcards and, little rack cards on different, things about wildfire. And how to be
Excellent.
prepared. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hmm?
Anything, Council Blevins, on that spring water Grange we went to? It was pretty cool.
There was a lot of information. It was really neat. At the end, we kind of went from right all the way around to the left. And the last one was, they have a bunch of cameras that are positioned. They're fixed, but they're kind of omni, like they look in different directions. And these things are so calibrated that they can tell the difference between, say, someone just having a fire, hash pile or a slash pile burn or something in the city. And they can tell if you're burning when you're not supposed to be burning. So if you're trying to sneak and you get the fire department,
Yeah.
it probably wasn't a neighbor. It could have been these people because it's so calibrated. It's pretty neat. Like
Nice.
you
Oh,
got
wow.
a lot of really high tech stuff to help.
So,
see fires.
so it's probably like AI
Yeah,
program, so it can differentiate. Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But we
I
asked,
didn't even ask that.
we asked if they could move it like a, like
And yell at
A
people.
normal-
Right.
on a,
Yeah.
but they couldn't. They're all fixed.
And where are they putting them? Or
I
are they
think-
up
I
already?
think they're already up.
It was like 18 or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
it
They're
looks
up
like
at
they're in a
peaks.
triangle. So they're going this way.
So it goes
Yeah,
like almost like a satellite view.
it was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
It's like a
That's all that
fishbowl ring, like a fishbowl
Uh,
view,
the-
and then where they overlap,
It was a
kind of
PG&E
overlap a
event.
little bit, but they all got their own sectors.
So hopefully they do it again.
So it's probably a good reminder then to have people, if they're gonna burn, make sure they have their permit through the
Right.
county and call.
Well, I think it stopped, didn't it? Or,
Well, yeah, you can't burn right now.
right,
But I
I
think,
saw that.
we're gonna get some rain, but definitely keep an eye on what they posted on Facebook. at
Either way,
least.
don't let that give you
No.
a false sense of security, because that rain only kind of coats the top.
Yeah.
You
Does,
know,
yeah.
There's still dryness underneath.
I think it's 13 days in a row. We haven't had any.
No, and that's why, I follow their Facebook and make sure
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
tracking when they
Yeah,
post
all
that you can burn.
right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shirley. What did you say?
Say something
Go
about
ahead.
your
Just say about our neighbors.
Oh.
All the dry brush behind my fences that belong to the school in the city.
Mhm.
And my neighbor's house that burnt down and hasn't been cleaned up. It's
Mm.
all dried. I just talked to him again today about it.
And they had one other thing right up that, was it Oregon Livestock that was there?
Mhm.
Okay, cause they had talked about.
And it's in our packet too.
Perfect,
Like
okay.
that one that Karina has right there.
If they were different, I wanted to.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
they
perfect.
were excellent. The
Okay.
family business.
A lot of fires and stuff for food, the livestock, the dogs, the cats. They desperately need food and stuff over there. If you know anybody that can donate, they really need it.
Yeah,
So one of
okay.
Hood River area.
The Hood River, right?
And they helped us, Hood River came and helped us when everybody held his horses all went to Hood River.
We had an engine go up there though, didn't we?
Yes, that, the tall one, I think one of the new ones.
Okay.
I think it was the same one that went to California. Yeah.
So we're helping them back a little bit. So donation.
They
Yeah.
gave a bunch away the other day.
Okay, Eric?
Um, Today, there was a independent company coming out that's sponsored by PGE. And what they're doing is they're checking their poles. I can't remember the name of it. I got a little brochure on it, but they're looking for a 4-foot perimeter around every place that PGE has a pole. You know, and it's like on private residence and stuff, if you have poles. You know, so I talked to the lady and she said, yeah, we're just contracted to go out and say, hey, you know, just a warning, like if you've got a lot of brush and a tree right next to a pole, then, you know, take care of it or call PGE and they'll come out and send a crew out and try to clean it up. You know, most of the poles on surface, the trees on Surface Road have been pulled up, you know, 30 feet up so that the lower branches don't catch a grass fire, you know, and anyway, that's. Did anybody see the governor last night on Channel 8? Okay,
The wildfires.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Oh.
anyway, it was information on the fires to come.
Go look at
Hopefully-
that.
Hopefully it rains all summer.
You know, I'm getting my sheep
So-
out, graze.
That'll work.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's good.
and the fires did jump the river apparently up out of Rowena.
Because that darn wind.
So,
It's like 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to, you know, we have a water tank. I've got to get it geared up and stuff, but just for stuff on. It's the little brush fires that take off, you know, and if there's any wind, today there was like a southeast wind coming up over. And just off where we live, so that fans the flame quick. We were going through the 2020 stuff and everybody here did, and it's still fresh. It's not over.
No.
I mean, as far as remembering what happened, so, but it gives us an advantage to really be ready for this season.
Yep.
And I think this preparation stuff, and we'll be there too at the meeting on the 20, what is it, the 21st?
21st.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
gonna come?
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
Gary.
because I think definitely being able to talk about, like, I would like to know about your setup,
yeah.
you know, like pump.
Just
and-
encourage people to kind of
Mhm.
really be,
Ready.
Yep,
yeah, absolutely.
yep.
Make sure you got some extra inhalers
Yep.
on hand.
Yeah,
Well, because we
Stuff that burns.
experienced that,
Yeah.
you know, my
Yep.
property was surrounded.
Stuff that
Spent
burns.
7 weeks in a motel.
Oh, yeah.
well, one thing is masks, you know, like there's a N95 mask, which is kind of okay, but boy, you really need the respirators
Yeah.
if you're gonna, you know, be in any type of wind and smoke. So that stuff's all available. So anyway, cool
All
stuff.
right.
I think, yeah, that's gonna be great to have you there
Yeah.
Saturday. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Let's see, number 2 under committee business. This is area that Mr. Dobbs and I walked uptown. As you see in your packet, I think there's 38 areas, whether it was no crosswalks or streets were unfinished, or no ADA ramps, trip hazards. Side streets were in bad condition. Grass areas were in the place there of it. Stop sign lines are faded. Things like that. You have a long list.
So
You guys.
Go ahead, Council.
who's tasked to take care of it? How do we deal with this financially?
Mhm.
And how do we get the ball rolling with getting it taken care of? I'm just asking, like,
Right. Just hopefully if the council wants to take something like the school zones, those are 14 intersections. So you're gonna need the paint for the crosswalk. You're gonna need the pedestrian signage. You're gonna need the solar panel and the buttons. Yeah, you're gonna need all that, and you're gonna make sure, like, more specifically over at the high school, when we were in the wheelchairs, and you went from the high school to the football field, either side there's no ADA compliant ramps.
yeah.
So when he flew over,
Yep.
Kerry did a little bump there. So it's the little things like those that can be put in.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do the schools first, since there's only 14. When we walked downtown, that was 39 areas. And uptown is 38 areas, so 14. But, I don't know.
So we submit this list to the city?
Well, I
then?
think that,
That's what I would think. we should
Council
do.
Blevins has all the information, all the packets that we have, and it's just a recommendation.
Is this the same list that we had prior before? or
No,
is
that
this a
was,
new
that
list?
was here downtown.
Okay,
The second one was
up above.
all the school zones. And
Uptown,
this is uptown right here.
Yeah,
So
I
this
think
is
we-
all the way from Maine, all the way, or I should say Pierce, all the way over to Wade. So what does everyone think? Any other suggestions for Council Blevins? Kerry?
Just, Council Blevin, just in the packet here, it's kind of like there's a division here between newer things that have been done in the city, which are really great. We have an example. I mean, Don DeRosa just really works hard to get stuff done here, no doubt. And, but there's a couple of streets that are over Zobrist and Wade. They're like something from the 40s. And one of the issues is, and when we went out in the wheelchair, there's minor things to be fixed with the lips, concrete versus pavement, to roll through. Those type of things are pretty easy fix. Those other two streets I mentioned, they're like impassable by a wheelchair unless you have a high dollar electric wheelchair. And still at that time, you travel down, and this is all documented in here, and you have on a sidewalk, which is very narrow, and you run into a pole or a mailbox, and so at that point, someone trying to travel is limited very much on that street. And there was a lady that we didn't get to talk to her, but she was in a wheelchair and she'd kind of rolled out to the edge of her cyclone fence. But once again, if she's not on pavement in a driveway, she can't even come out that front gate because it's crushed rocks with potholes. So, those two streets are crying for attention. I understand that the city doesn't really, it has limits on what they can do with the sidewalks and stuff, and perhaps the homeowner has to, but both sides of the street are vacant on sidewalks halfway down. And there's no signage on it too. The other issue
Right.
is, and I think we defined that stuff in the packet,
On the checklist.
on the checklist, okay.
Yeah, and then
but-
everyone has its own photos.
Yeah, right, yeah, there's statements of definition on each one. So it's kind of like that part of the city just has been the way it's been.
Yeah.
And,
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, and bringing up the residents, the fact that they're kind of responsible for, the broken sidewalks in a lot of cases. I don't know what could ever be done with it, but where I'm living, they've got all the street trees in there. And a lot of them are already dying. Well, and I don't know how many years they're gonna be like this here. It seems any given municipality is completely creating this all of their own. And then the homeowner is responsible. I'm not sure of ordinances, but what I went through in another city, they actually chose not to put in sidewalks at all because it was extreme weather there. And then we figured, well, then the homeowner's gonna be out there repairing a lot of these and how good a job are they gonna do on that or something? But I don't know what could be done with it, but
Right.
where I live, it's gonna be the same darn thing and I don't know, maybe even decade or more, but
Karina?
I was just gonna comment, I agree with Matt. I think something needs to be done as far as like coding, you know, because as long as it's just, well, it's not the city's responsibility, it's the residents' responsibility. And then they don't technically have to use, as it stands currently now, they technically don't have to fix the sidewalk unless they're doing some other maintenance or something.
Right.
So it's like, how do we get the city maybe to reevaluate a code? You know, I mean, how
And
do we do that?
maybe require.
You know, speaking on behalf of like residents, you know, right?
I would like to reach out to staff
Yeah.
and find the ordinance, the codes, the
Yeah.
standards, because I know that the new developments are held to a specific standard
Mhm.
and and anything put in would have to be to that standard as well.
Right,
And differentiate, I'd like to know, same thing.
yeah,
Who's what is homeowner responsibility versus city responsibility?
right.
Cause the tree thing, I had both trees die in front of my house and I had some kind gentlemen offered me to take them away for a good price and I had to, cause limbs were falling on my car. So, and that was my responsibility, that
That's what I was
little
gonna ask.
greenway. So I'll look
Yeah.
into that.
But the problem is with some of these sidewalks, these people, I mean, these sidewalks are really, really old and that was not an ordinance when they bought their property, but now it just got shoved in their face and I don't think that's fair. If they wanna do this, if they wanna have them responsible for the sidewalks, they should redo the sidewalks and then the people should be responsible for it. And you have a lot of, like Wade, you have a lot of senior citizens there.
Mhm.
Lot of,
They can't afford it. I mean,
Right.
I mean, I hate to say it, but look at some of their houses. They can't afford to keep their houses up. How are they gonna keep the sidewalk up?
I know that my sidewalks, if I go down and around, even in front of my house, the trees are getting bigger, the roots are going under, they're lifting up. And you can see like.
Well, they should
someplace-
limit the size of the trees
Yeah.
that they put in the strip in the first place. And that would solve a lot of problems, because they put two that are just monstrous in front of mine, and I had a Clackamas County police officer tripped. And I got sued actually from that
Wow.
exact same thing, because I'm responsible for the sidewalk, but I didn't have any responsibility in putting the trees in. And they put way too big of trees. I mean, when they're this big around out there, you know, it's gonna bubble up the sidewalk from the roots going underneath.
In a lot of these
So-
older communities like Casadero.
But in our neighborhood, they're all over,
The trees
they're
are
all
way
over,
big.
Matt.
Yeah.
On our neighborhood, it's terrible about it.
Yeah.
But talking about sidewalks too, you guys, the city started a sidewalk coming out around Wade, there and Wade and Eagle Creek. Whatever you want, and they put the curbing in, but that's it. There's no sidewalk there. And
Yeah.
the people that are out there want that sidewalk finished. Because, I mean, it makes it hard to get around and the people that come around that corner, they're driving up on that curb. Because they don't realize
Right.
that's one that needs to be finished. You start a job, you should finish a job.
Do you mean on the street side, on the other side of Granny's,
Yeah.
going towards Rivermill? Yeah.
Mhm. Yep,
Okay, that's in this, the safety zone
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That sidewalk needs to go from Leathers all the way to Broadway
yep.
On 10th Street.
or 10th. No, down by the marathon. Right. Exactly. It's on the vet side and then it's on the other side.
But we can go around the corner. That's Sixth Avenue or whatever.
Right.
The corner, Wade or Eagle Creek, whatever you wanna call it. Technically Eagle Creek. They started to put a sidewalk there and then put the curb in here, and that's all they did.
Sure.
Like, wait, south. But she doesn't live here in the city, but she still has a business here in the city.
Right.
That little restaurant there, and then they need to finish the sidewalk from that corner up to
10th.
all the way up to the next sidewalk.
Okay. All right. Good.
I'd like to walk on that side, but there's no way in heck I'm gonna walk on.
Yeah.
So everyone's in agreement to send a Council of Blevins on all three, uptown, downtown, and the school safety zone
Yeah,
to the council?
Yeah.
Everybody's good?
yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Do we have
That
to make
include
a
the
motion?
crosswalks?
The what?
Do we have to make a motion?
Do you
that
want to
I-
write something?
I don't want
I don't
to, but I'm
want-
just saying if we
All
don't
this
have to.
recorded too, so, yeah,
That crosswalk by the library and,
yeah, that's all in there. Yeah, all of those are in there. That was what, 2 months ago?
Can we just, all, because we do all agree, can we write that down?
That's what I was wondering. Do you
Yeah.
have to have a
Yeah,
motion?
I think it's.
It has to be official, right?
Now it's out of
Yeah.
our hands.
Okay,
Gotcha. See, I'm looking to you
okay,
too to like.
okay, so
school me on
let's,
that. Okay, so what's the motion?
can I get a motion on the floor to include, our recommendations to the council for uptown Estacada of 38 areas, downtown for 39, and the school safety zone for 14 areas?
a motion to that.
Okay,
I'll second.
have a
that.
motion, have a second, all in favor?
I,
Aye. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-0. Thank you, Counselor. Appreciate that. Yes, we know you will.
sorry. Okay, who moved? And then
Um,
seconded? Okay, you moved.
Shirley
Shirley
and then
moved.
Mike.
Thank,
Yep,
sorry.
that's okay. It's the first
Don't
time.
like
Yep,
having to do
It's
this.
the first time we're doing it. It's okay. All right, so, okay, moving off that one, and then we'll have another one next month. Probably have an uptown. Part 2, we'll do, I think, Pierce and, Shafford, I think.
Yeah.
We'll include them. So, all right, safe routes to school, number 3, Estacada High School. Yeah. Already did that. It's already in the packet. It's in the packet right here. So if you look, you got Broadway, you got Main, you got Zobrist
Yeah. Zobrist.
and Wade. So you got all those streets right there.
Later, the same thing, same issue.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're all good there. All right, on the, just want to be brief on this. I reached out to ODOT on safe routes to school. And they sent me something that I could send to Principal Rydell at the high school. So I sent her an email saying that been in touch with ODOT, Safe Routes to School, to learn about more opportunities for improving safety on streets and sidewalks near our schools. One of the types of technical assistance they offer is facilitating a walk audit. I'm including some information below, reaching out to see your interest in bringing ODOT SRTS to your school in fall, since kids are already out of school. And just go in there and ODOT will do everything. They will include some of us to be there, probably some people from the city, and then they'll write it up. They will probably also do a survey like they did in 2017 and ask the actual parents picking up, dropping off, all that good stuff. So we'll have something from 8 years ago to compare to 2025. And let's see, so there'll be a group discussion following the observation, and then they'll write up a report for improving conditions that will help with follow-up steps. This will all be led by the ODOT team, but we wanted to check with you to see if this sounds useful or interesting. Just waiting to hear back, because
Yeah.
I was at 3 events with the high school last week, so I can imagine what the principal was. Yeah, she was busy. So just
Great.
bring you guys up to speed on that. Okay, last thing there is something that Elena put in there, transportation growth management grant. Saying, moving forward with the 90 acres up at the mill site. Oh, okay. And with the direct access to 224, it's gonna come in towards 6th Avenue by Marathon. So they just want to make sure from our perspective with this planning, and they're gonna make sure everything gets connected correctly. Bringing the kids that are gonna live over there into here, and I guess it's also zoned riverfront commercial uses. And I'm sure everybody read it. Is everyone okay with the letter, or anyone want to ask Elena anything about it? She's right over here. Yeah, I'm okay with signing it.
Okay, yeah, it looks, so we should move, right?
Sure. Can I get a motion for the Transportation Growth Management Program letter to be supported by the committee?
I'll motion.
Karina motion?
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Suits, second the motion.
Matt, second. All in favor? Say aye.
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 6-0 again. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Elena. All right.
Can't wait for that.
Event Subcommittee, National Night Out. All right.
That to you after, because I gotta get the exact.
How are you doing on calling vendors for National
Oh,
Night Out?
well, what I'm gonna do is actually at the Livestock Council, I'm gonna see how many 501
Oh,
C charities we have participating, and we can go around and slip them an app.
Yeah.
good.
So, and then, I don't know, Matt and I will talk about, we met with, Amanda at Medical Teams today by Zoom, but anyways, her group might actually attend too.
Awesome.
So,
Good.
that's, yeah,
So it'll be, everything on the list,
Mhm.
community center.
Yeah.
Adult Teen Challenge, Total Swim
yeah, I think
Bills.
we'll have a
Okay,
lot
Good.
of people. So,
Nice.
yeah, I mean,
And
Counselor?
location, are we?
oh,
Yes.
We're not doing the.
Yeah, we,
Agree on this?
this will be
yeah, you need to
something
talk
else I
about that.
want
I
to
know.
vote on, but
I need to, I'm sorry, I got like sidetracked because I was,
Couldn't it?
well, I know, yeah, so Jim called me, was it this
Right.
last week?
Yep.
Yeah, and so followed up, and then I was gonna get in touch with you.
You should, Get the farm to be down here too.
what farm?
Foster Farm.
Well, the
What-
application, the vendor application specifically says food vendors and then 501c3 charities.
Right.
Yeah.
And then safety, law
Yeah,
enforcement.
so
stuff
we
like
have
that.
to, yeah, unfortunately, I have to like limit.
That's one thing the city needs to do to try to include those people in this, because they are the original homesteaders of this area. They were here first.
Right, and we did with the American Legion. They've donated the tree that actually came with Philip Foster from the state of Maine on the trail all the way to Oregon City. And we'll have 5 of those at a raffle at the
Oh.
cruise in. So
Oh,
if people
wow.
want to get a piece of
Right.
New England.
Well, and I
they'll have a
think,
piece of
yeah,
New
I
England.
mean, because the National Night Out is generally centered around
Yes.
safety,
And
correct?
community,
Okay,
kids getting in, learning about the fire trucks.
right,
What the police do.
okay,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah, so we have a community watch and then we get the fire
right,
emergency. So after our meeting, when we said that we would participate in the industrial park, I went over and I walked around the industrial park, and I thought the logistics were more difficult, starting with, I don't know when the businesses are closing over there. So if we have them from 5 to 8, I don't know what street to have it on. And I don't want to go and spend time looking at an empty lot here, empty lot here, well, who owns that? And spending time seeing who, Don't need that. I think we should do it over here. Because people are coming in from home, coming over the bridge. And people coming back from home here, and it's gonna be here. We have banners. We have it high visibility here. If we would like to collaborate with the Economic Development Commission next year on an open house, no problem. I just think that, we're like 5, 6 weeks out. I just think that we're, cutting it close.
So have trucks going in, all the time. They don't
Okay.
have a set schedule.
Okay, I just,
here too.
exactly, and I think people, I know we can put some A-frames out there, but if we do it next year, we can put them out by Jackpot, and we can put them by the bridge, and then we can put them there. We'd have more time in our budget for
Or-
something like that
Or
too,
maybe that's a separate event altogether.
or maybe something
right?
about open house, right?
Yeah,
And I'm good. What else do you think, Mr. Dubs?
I favored where we had it last year. Fire department's right there. All they do,
Exactly.
open the doors, pull the trucks out. Kids love fire department stuff. And then, Blackmos County Sheriff's Department, they bring their toys over there. And this year, I believe we're gonna have a lot more stuff and it's gonna
Definitely.
be good. And I mean, it's really kid oriented if you look at this thing, and little goodies and trinkets and stuff and
Right.
whistles and badges and they get to climb on the stuff too. And like Jim said, I mean, you got traffic here, you got people, hey, let's pull over there, mommy, daddy, I'm gonna duck there.
Right.
It's like, it's inclusive with the city
Right.
and we're
Right.
right across the street.
And it's, I think it's safer to park over here. I mean, if we want to conceivably block Curran, maybe, but I mean, I don't know, even want to attempt over there and anger a
Well-
business or whatever. And I know that they have their commission and everything and John's heading it, but that's just my opinion.
and I,
Like what
yeah.
Shirley said, there's, sorry.
oh, no, you're fine.
Deliveries, like, yeah,
I
I would
didn't
assume
think about
industrial
that.
area
Yeah.
deliveries, right? If you got products that have to be delivered in the evening
Yeah.
time,
Oh, that's right.
receiving, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
After hours.
How to get deliveries at night.
Okay.
I asked what she doing. She goes, Mom, for one thing, my area's not big enough and I have those dryers going. I don't want some little kid come out and touch a hot dryer.
No, that's a
Right.
good,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
She dries sweet potatoes 24/7.
yeah.
Wow. So I figure
Yep.
like after 4th of July, we can get on a phone call, a few of us, and then we can go down the list and then give that list to Elena.
Mhm.
And it'll have 30 days for all the goodies to get here for the
Yep.
kids.
Yep.
So if everyone's in agreement, I think we should vote on this one too. Sorry, Karina.
We'll make a motion.
Make a motion, or can I hear a motion on the floor to have the National Night Out event at its third annual location as first 2 years across the street here on the city parking lot?
I make a motion on the city parking lot to continue to have National Night Out for 2025 to move forward with the original location.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second,
Second. Thank you, Shirley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, 6-0. So what was the other thing I was gonna mention about that? Oh, I'll put the permit back in. Tomorrow morning, I'll send the permit
Oh.
here to City Hall.
Okay,
I know it was ripped up. We'll just send it and
Yeah.
rock on. There we
Sounds
go. Okay, Communications Subcommittee. So I think we should put the wildfire preparedness information on our part of the website, everything that we have scanned in here. I think the only thing I didn't include, Matt, was that FEMA. Because I was having a heck of a time. It was kind of a large document. So I'll try to add that and send that to Elena. And then the National Night Out event, I think it should be posted, relatively soon. Like,
As soon as it's verified that we can do it there, yeah.
Yeah. I don't see it being any issue. Number one, it's our committee.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't see that being an issue. I'm willing to talk to the council if anyone needs to sway us anything, but I'm pretty sure that we'll stand firm you know,
It was.
we like easy.
It was announced at the council meeting last month, though, wasn't it? That it would be up over there?
No,
No,
No, we were gonna talk about it. I
Yeah.
think we, it was
Jo-
open.
John came and spoke to us about possibly it
Oh, just
being over there.
possible.
They had their meeting at 11 or 12 today. So
Oh, I
I,
see.
I hadn't heard, but I mean, we're on the clock and yeah, I just think it's not enough time.
Yes, I agree.
we also have a bulletin board at the park.
A what?
For a case at the park to put announcements in.
Where is that?
On the bathroom wall, hopefully if we found the key. But if not, we'll just put a new lock on it. We have a little display case that we put stuff like this. You know, where it concerns kids.
Mhm.
You give me a flyer, I'll get with Melody and then we will get it put up there.
Okay.
And one in the library too.
Okay.
Post office posted.
Post office.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're at the library now.
Library too, right? Okay. All right. So we got those two. Okay. Traffic Safety Subcommittee. Anybody have anything? I went to the council last week. Excuse me, read this. Council Bevan's already heard this, but this is something that I felt that the whole community is behind this because we have issues with speeding everywhere in town. Doesn't matter where. Okay, here we go. Hello, I live on Lake Shore and walk the pathway which leads to Highway 224. I'm greatly concerned about the traffic that has no regard for the speed limits. I noticed a few months ago that the quote, warning lower speed sign disappeared. It was located near the new timber school, alerting drivers to the speed change from 55 to 40. Also, though I love the new trees lining the highway, they obstruct the 35-mile-an-hour sign near Elm Road, as well as obstructing drivers' view when trying to enter the highway from Wade Street. It's very scary trying to cross the highway unless you go all the way to the light on Broadway. Is there a plan to add flashing pedestrian lights like the one they have near Ace Hardware Store? Has the city ever considered putting up those portable electronic lights showing, quote, your speed versus what the speed limit it actually is? Or maybe the photo ticket van for a few weeks could garner some revenue for the county, as well as remind people to be more mindful of the speed limits. At the very least, you need to address the speeding on the highway through town by adding more police presence. So that's what our citizens, go ahead, Matt.
As I recall, a few years back now, a lot of that is managed by ODOT, the speeds.
Yep.
That the state ruled that a municipality with a state highway within their borders could come up with their own speed limit. I don't know, can't remember what the parameters were. But I'm positive that's still enforced. And whether it means from 55 down to 30 or something, I'm not sure, but
Right.
and also I'm glad to hear, I voiced my concerns on those trees. I'm glad to hear someone else is noticing instead of me just complaining that they can be an awful hazard sometimes too. So I don't know who else would, there was one of the meetings where I asked about, in the neighborhoods, put the speed limit post at say 20, and then, you know, the thing about where people go, oh, you know, I'm a couple miles over that and within, variance or something like that. And the city attorney commented he would check and see as far as road classifications.
Right.
And I know that's a book like that, you know, but I think still a city is entirely, you know, within their scope or whatever to post whatever they want, I think.
I agree with you. I like 20 all around town, but
Yeah.
that's not up to us.
Yeah.
26 is the state highway, right? Oh, the one-
State, yes. Yep.
Okay, they have different speed limits and Sandy enforced them, not the state. Sandy's the one that put them up. And so we have a right to slow this traffic down. And also when they put that industrial area in, when we I've been here for a long time. They went the industrial area and the agreement was, once the industrial area went in and all that traffic, trucks and traffic, that Rivermill was supposed to have a stoplight. They were supposed to work with the state on that and have a stoplight. Well, that just went by the wayside too. And that is getting to be one of the most dangerous intersections
Yeah.
next to 211 and 224. How many accidents have we had up there
Lot.
last 2 or 3 months?
Yeah, and they're
A lot.
about to put the roundabout on Rivermill because that is a heavily used area. But if they're running that road down through the old mill off 6th down to 224.
That'll take a residence traffic, that won't take the traffic that's coming through town in the summertime. et cetera.
Yeah,
But, I mean, I've seen people, in fact, I called the city today, I almost didn't do it because there's a big old pothole. on-
Where at?
Right there on, Rivermill and 224 on the right side, as you turn right. There's a hole that's probably about. 20
Turning on to
feet.
Rivermill?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I called down, I said, that needs to be filled. He goes, I said, if somebody hits that with their tire, they're gonna pop the tire or tear out the hole underneath their car.
So is that on the highway or is it on Rivermill? Okay,
Don said he would take care of
You turn
Oh, he
right.
did?
Yeah.
okay,
it.
it's on.
The water on the other side, where it really rains, you know, that pond there, as I call it, so. I've seen a couple.
On the
cars
ODOT
down
area, on the right there?
First a couple times, I'm still talking about it.
Right.
As I came home real late at work, and I went to turn and I said, you know, there needs to be some kind of barrier there too.
Right.
Keep them out of that, but that hole, I couldn't believe how big that hole got.
That's good. I'm glad you said that Don's on it. I
Don's on it.
I want to answer Matt's because this is what Council Blevins and committee member Dobbs remembered. Elena had given us the ODOT website, so I used it.
Okay.
I not only used the one for the highway, for traffic issues, for potholes, but I also used it for the lights.
Okay.
is there a link? Do you have a link?
It's a link on
Like
last month's or May's.
it's on the council webpage or on the committee webpage?
I believe so. I'll send it to you.
No, I just would like.
Yeah.
it Could be on there.
Definitely. Okay.
That would be awesome.
And so the ODOT, it was, I don't know, maybe I just took 30 minutes one day and I just went around all 4 of the schools. Less than 3 days, they were out fixing the lights
Oh, wow.
around the schools. So I
Great.
believe they replaced 27 lights.
Oh, wow.
So we have people going around say
job.
they're still not as bright,
Okay.
but they came out and at least
Better.
have done, yes, they are
Okay.
better. So,
Oh,
I saw a
thank
truck
you.
out there one of the days, I can't remember which one, yeah.
and they were right on 6th there.
Yeah, me and my wife walked that a while back.
did you?
They need to be bright, like they're brighter. You
What
can
new
definitely
building?
tell they're brighter.
Which school?
Would it matter, like, as far as-
Okay,
I don't
gotta be specific.
Pretty high. So,
He was complaining that those lights are way too bright.
I mean, they
Probably cost.
Tune down and turn.
Okay.
LED, so it shouldn't cost
That'd be
that
the
much.
school truck?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
Problem is you gotta really crank those
Okay.
LEDs up. Cause they don't put down. a
Do
whole-
they shine on the
They're more
sidewalk? or
floodlights
what?
than spotlights.
Oh,
The house right next to the bus barn, they come right
Yeah.
and shine all the way over there. You know,
Residences?
residents
No.
house.
I think.
Hmm.
personally.
They did that with the new bus lights in the, when they put them in the parking lot.
Right.
The window was, no, you can't be doing that. You gotta turn them the other way. I just
Okay.
have to put lights on in the house. You know,
Okay, so to answer Matt's question, I reached out on ask.odot@odot.oregon.gov. And I requested for them to look at 2 crosswalks, one at Southwest Second Avenue, which is Hitch and Post Pizza, and Southwest Wade, which is Subway. 2 sets of flashing pedestrian lights and pedestrian signage at both of these locations. I also requested that they look at a large tripping hazard at the 211 bridge leaving town. I've received emails on all 3 of them.
Really?
And when I submitted the lights, I received the email back within a day that someone was working on it and there was a work order.
Wow.
Counselor,
With the lighting, with the flashing lights, is like those hash lines or crosswalk lines part of that? Like,
Yeah,
would that be
yes.
part of, okay, cool.
Yeah. yeah, 'cause I
Because,
said crosswalk, signage,
yeah,
lights, all that stuff. Because we need to get citizens from there to here.
I live way over there.
Right.
And me and my wife and the kids have crossed over here
But-
many times.
But here by Broadway though.
No,
Oh,
no, we'll
no.
walk all the way down to Hitch and Post. Like
Okay.
we walk the dog everywhere, you know, and it's one of those things where it's like that old Frogger.
It is like,
Yeah, Frogger is right.
Except on this road, there's no redo.
yeah, no, that's great though.
So making progress there.
Good job.
And hold on a second. All right, so. All right, does anyone else have anything? I don't think I saw anything. Oh, wait a minute. Matt, go ahead. You have anything?
Well, you kind of spearheaded that, you know,
Well,
you see my notes.
Are you done, Jim? Sorry.
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
I have
okay.
other stuff, but go right ahead,
Yeah,
guys.
well,
So
okay.
you're probably a lot.
Do you want me
more-
to start and then you
Sure.
can
Sure, yeah,
comment?
and if I have anything to add, that's okay, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Today, Matt and I met with Amanda from Medical Teams International. We did that through virtually. And so we were trying to kind of chip away at our goals that we have here for our classes, our CPR, first aid, AED.
Nice.
She didn't have self-defense, so we still got to work on that one.
Yeah.
So they offer quite a few things. Let's go back to the main portion is CPR, first aid, AED. They do classes, but she has to check. It sounds like, because I'm going to ask you, Jim, the last time CPR classes were held, was that for the community?
Yes,
Okay.
that was in January.
Okay, and so she's double checking because it sounds like they typically offer them for like the volunteers and that kind of thing. So it may not be that they're able to accommodate community participation.
About committee members
Yes, yeah,
and
so,
volunteers or the
yes.
council
yes,
or the,
but,
staff, anybody.
right,
Yeah.
so I still was like, she's checking, so I'm like, okay, that might be an option, but if we still want to have, you know, more of a community-based offering, then we're probably gonna have to like look at the Red Cross or something like that.
Okay.
And I don't,
Can they say that they were volunteer at their church or the school or, no, I'm serious.
what was that?
Volunteer for the
But
Legion.
What do you mean?
They say they only do volunteers because when I had to go and
Yeah.
do stuff with
Yeah.
my granddaughter's class.
Yeah.
Name, date of birth, fingerprints. I mean, I
Yeah.
was vetted.
Well, I think, yeah, any community member that wants to participate in assisting in any kind of emergency preparedness, I think it would fall under that.
Sounds good.
I know. So, per class, we're limited to 20,
Okay.
but we
good.
can have multiple classes
That's good.
if we have a lot of, so other things that they offered, oh, and we only have to give them like 4 to 6 weeks notice. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
when we want to do it because they work off grants. Yeah. So she has a grant right now through the Oregon Health Authority for these kind of, they call them like go bags, but they're more centered around like first aid kits, you know, kind of items for disaster and emergency preparedness. So she says she gives those out for community groups that want to have like a fundraiser or something. And I don't know if we do any fundraisers because we could do like, or some kind of giveaway incentive,
Right.
you know, at our little events. So I did ask her that if I gave her a vendor application for National Night Out, if she wants to be
Okay.
there, but if she can't attend, then I was like, can we get a go bag?
Right.
And she's like, yeah.
Or
She-
could she help us?
yeah,
if
she
we
said
do-
she'd give us like 5.
If
or
we
so,
do
like a
like
handful of
one
them.
small area in town to do
Yeah.
a drill or emergency
Yeah, we
preparedness.
could have
Can we,
one.
the
Yeah.
volunteers that come out, can we give
Mhm.
them to them?
Yeah, we can have, and she said a handful of them, so I'm imagining like 5, you know, but we can
Okay.
figure that out. So she's definitely gonna keep us posted about that.
Excellent.
She also mentioned there's a B 2 weeks ready course that they give. And that is through OEM, Oregon Emergency Management. I do need to look that up because I have a website. She was gonna send that to us, but it's basically like a 4 hours course, and it can be held either virtually or in person. I'm not quite sure exactly what it entails, but it's basically like be ready in 2 weeks, to evacuate or, hunker down kind of situation. And then they also they did have a mass care shelter exercise that they held in Union County, but talking to Elena, I don't think that would really fit in our scope because it's kind of like if our whole town evacuated, it wouldn't be helpful. So, but sounds cool. And I
So we could
think
fake it, but not have.
we could
risk,
have a
right?
class and say everybody goes to the school and then we all leave again.
With
So
horses.
with horses, yeah, or I'll come to my house. I don't know. It's all good. So Matt, did you have any comments on that one? Because I know you had some good questions though for her
Well,
today.
I was thinking now that Elena's here on the CPR.
Yeah.
I have hands-on experience, but as I talked with Amanda, they're always changing that stuff for review is always good, but I was curious, like the employees, are they required to do that at all? Or, okay, so I mean, I think kind of the thought on that is that say all the public utility workers, they're out somewhere on the street where all of a sudden an accident of some kind might happen. If they can't do the general public. So yeah, I don't know which is better. I was surprised they would do up to 20 people because I kind of thought it would be at that place at the library where they always have things going on. I don't know how much room there is there, but
I think we had 20 something sign up. We had about 16, 17. 15.
Yeah, I think the capacity for that room is something like 60 or something.
oh,
Yeah.
that much. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I have to look, but it's probably more than you're thinking it is, but that depends seated or standing capacity.
Well, we can
Yeah.
only have 20 per class.
And knowing that there's
And
only
then
so many
There's certainly more room in here. You can host the
dummies around
class.
to
Okay.
practice. So, okay.
So we have
So
multiple.
that was just something I went over on that, like,
Yeah.
how many can you have? And I was thinking it was for the public in the first place. And I know I checked the fire department and they don't do that anymore. But the more the merrier, I would suppose. Oh, they also had was it the county of Clackamas had the VOAD
And I don't know what that stood for.
volunteers of
They had another, yeah.
another kind
So
of
through
get ready.
Clackamas County, she was gonna give us the name, Barb Edwards. I wrote that down.
Barb.
And she said this was another emergency preparedness type of workshop that they could do. So, I mean, we've got multiple, I know we only have a few things on our list here, but if there's grants, she feels like they're gonna get get another grant for next year, then we definitely can,
Oh, yeah.
as we're able, add different.
They have
emergency
one through
preparedness.
through December.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, which I suppose something like that after school kids are back in school and so on, people are on summer vacation
Yeah,
in the fall or something is probably better scheduling.
yeah. So that's all we found out today.
That's a lot.
I know, I was like.
Awesome.
That's all I did.
All right. Does anyone have anything before we depart the premises? Anyone have anything? I just wanted to people out there in town, we still have an available position on the committee. So please put in for it. Make us lucky 7.
Mhm.
I recently emailed Dawn DeRosa last week about there aren't any street signs at the corner of Northeast Pierce and 6th. So I'm assuming it's just an order type thing and he'll be on that, but that's all I have. Counselor, you have anything? No, Lena? Good, okay. Anyone else doesn't have anything, I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you.